Some of you mentioned how, yes, initially Satan was kicked out of the heavens with his fallen angels for having pride and having evil intentions. And ever since then, he has been in numerous battles with the archangel Michael and the other angels of light. Some of you even quoted the book of Daniel, chapter 10, which speaks of how the archangel Michael was in an angelic battle with the forces of darkness, even back then. And also we saw in the book of Job how Satan was not completely cast out of the heavens, because he was able to worm his way into the high heavens so that he could approach God for the purpose of trying to accuse Job. And so it does seem as if there has been an ongoing conflict between the angels of darkness and the angels of light for thousands of years. And if that is the case, it would make sense if the angelic battle depicted in Revelation 12 is perhaps a summary of when Satan is first kicked out of heaven, and then it tells of these frequent angelic battles that he has as he tries to accuse the people of God. And finally, in the passage, we see that there will come a moment when Satan is ultimately kicked out of the heavenly realms and is only allowed around the earth realm. And so again, we're opening up the floor. What do you think about that point of view? Please share in the comments how you consider this and how you interpret Revelation 12. Now, I do think that there is more evidence within the text that indicates that this angelic battle in Revelation 12 likely did not completely take place before creation. And I think if you look at Revelation 12, verse 9, there's an indicator of that. Look at what it reads. And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ have come. For the accuser of our brothers has been thrown down, who accuses them day and night before our God. So here we see that it says that he was thrown down as one who accuses the people of God, and that he was accusing believers before God day and night. So if this event here happened before humanity was even created, who would he have been accusing? Right? So you see why some scholars are saying that this is not just a past event, because we clearly see here that he has been accusing us, the brothers and sisters, before God, and then he is thrown down. And this is similar to how, as we saw in the previous episode, Satan was trying to accuse Job. Even though Job was a righteous man, Satan approached God to try to call out Job and to say that Job would curse God if he was inflicted with pain. And so it seems that even since the days of Job, Satan has had this ability to not only wander the earth, but also to wander the heavens as the accuser. And so this is very interesting. Look at what it says in verse 11 as it explains how he was dislodged from the heavens. And they, the saints, have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they loved not their lives even unto death. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. But woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil has come down to you in great wrath, because he knows his time is short. So here it seems that one of the reasons that Satan will be thrown down is not just because of an angelic battle, but also because of what? The blood of the Lamb, and by the word of the people of God's testimony. So we again see that this must not refer to what happened before creation, because you are involved with the dislodging of Satan. Now, of course, before creation, Satan obviously had some type of falling out with God. We know that. But here we see that he is ultimately expelled by the blood of the Lamb and by the testimony of God's people. And that is big, because that would mean that your proclamation of the gospel is a part of the ultimate dislodging of Satan. You see why he doesn't want the gospel to spread. You see why he doesn't want videos like this to get out. Because the more he is exposed, the closer he is to being expelled. So I believe the puzzle is starting to fit together. Because if the battle of Revelation 12 climatically will conclude when Satan is dislodged completely from the heavenly realms and then comes into the earth realm, we can see why right after he is thrown to the earth, he's furious. And as it says in Revelation 12, woe to the earth. The devil has come down to you in great wrath because he knows that his time is short. And then after that, what does he do? He empowers the Antichrist to rise. And this is why we see that in the very next chapter in Revelation 13, the Antichrist comes onto the scene.